Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to, or actually I should say welcome to a brand new series here on the channel. And it is a FIFA 20 series, for the one of two series here on the channel. I think you guys already seen the very first video of the first series that we're going to start here on the channel, which is a player career mode with Mateo Morales. Well, in this one we are going to talk about his father. His father is a, well, not a well-known or world-known soccer player, but he did play professional soccer in Mexico, Germany, and I believe, in France. At least what I've written down here. But we're going to have a first ever Premier League series, and it's going to be with the Wolverhampton Wolves, and the coach of that series is going to be Luis Morales. Now, we talked about his son in a previous, the introduction video of his series, Mateo Morales, who's going to be in the MLS. His dad now gets to be a head coach or the manager of a Premier League team. He is finally in the Premier League, not as a player, but as a coach. So as you see here, it's a new feature here in the game that you can select a coach and of course change his style of what he looks like and all this kind of stuff. Now, this is just what I was working on when I had EA access. I was kind of just messing around and just trying to figure out what I was going to do or how I was going to create him, and I was kind of doing so. So this is not the final version of him. I think maybe later on in the video you'll get to see what he actually looks like and whatnot. But yeah, this is Luis Morales, and he will be the head coach of the Wolverhampton Wolves. They're one of the Premier League teams. They're kind of one of the up-and-coming teams. Last season, I can't remember exactly how they played, but they're one of the teams I know for sure. Towards the end of this last season, there, when I was really like constantly following the Premier League, there was one of the teams that really captured my eye, and I was really thinking, I'm like, you know, if I ever start a Premier League team, that'll be the team I want to run with. So that is who we're going to be running with here. And the cool thing about this new features here in career mode here, they have interviews. You get interviewed and all that kind of stuff there. So that'll be something we can immerse ourselves into. I know I said in the Mateo series there in the introduction episode that we'll kind of like a 6 degrees of separation type of thing. So these two series won't be parallel too much. It won't be closely parallel to one another, meaning that they'll be going at the same time. But we'll mention Mateo will mention his dad sometimes in his series, and then in this series we'll mention Mateo. His dad will mention Mateo from time to time there. So they'll have some interaction there between the two in this series and whatnot. And of course, our main job here in this series is to make our team get on top of the table here. We want to be one of the teams that runs the Premier League. We want to avoid, if anything, relegation. We don't want that at all. And in order to do that, that's we're gonna have to find the best players out there to play for our team there. So a lot of work. Same thing like we did in the and it'll still be a series here on the channel. It'll be just like in Sporting Kansas City here, but at least in this one we have a little bit more money here. We can go after some more players here because the Premier League teams, they're pretty wealthy teams there, and we're not gonna go on a spinning spree or anything like that, but we are gonna look for guys that we can find here, and of course, most importantly, get that homegrown talent here to help us out. So we will be working with a lot of our youth academy, just trying to get those homegrown players there and make them to stars here in the Premier League. So there you see, we get an invitation for a preseason tournament. Of course, we're going to go ahead and take that there, and of course that's going to help us earn prize money and that prize money is going to help us out to eventually buy and sell players in the future here. So I believe when we start off this series off, we will be in, I believe, in the middle or the start of the transfer window, the first transfer window, the summer transfer window. I haven't decided what if we're gonna make any changes to the team. As you take a look here at the roster here, pretty solid. This is actually, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is, I got the most recent rosters here. So, and again, I don't follow the Premier League as closely as most do, but for the most part, I think I have a lot of the players that they went after in the right at the transfer window. So we're not going to make any too many changes here. We got a couple guys that will be on loan, that will be loaned to other players. And I believe we have one player that we have to worry about re-signing. Everybody else has been re-signed or have a new contract, so we don't have to worry about that. We just have to worry about just finding some of those young players, going out into the world, taking our scouts and having go to places like the United States, go to Mexico, go to Brazil, go to Spain, go to Portugal, and Germany, and go to France to find those top players, those world-class players that especially if we can find those world-class players there, that will really help us out here. So we got guys like Jimenez, and again, I will apologize right now to you guys here, and help me out with the pronunciation of some of these names here, but I am not good at saying these players' names here, because they're not names I normally hear or see too often here. So just bear with me. I will be butchering these names here, so I apologize now, just like I do in the Kansas City or Sporting Kansas City series there. I butcher some of those names here. I'm like, yeah, I need to look up that name up in the pronunciation book, because that is not how you say that name. So but we are going to be, like I said, we are going to get a few players out there from outside of England, but at the same time, we're going to be looking within our own within the country there. So it should be a fun series. I cannot wait here. But our goal here is to basically win championships and win tournaments. So you got the European International Cup coming up. We got, I think we're in the Europa League. We're also, one of the things we have to avoid relegation. The bottom three teams there get knocked off, and they will go to the Premier League 2 league or whatever it's called, the tier down from that. So we got to avoid that. Not to mention, we got to say we have, I know there's objectives here that I think we've seen earlier here in the video, but we got to meet some of those expectations from the board there, because if we don't, we're gonna get fired, and we don't want to do that to Luis here. This is fine. He gets the call of being the head coach of the Wolves, and unfortunately he won't be playing as a player, but his lifelong dream of finally getting to the Premier League is finally here by way of being a manager, and we want to try to keep him here as long as possible. So we'll see how things go here. And you see there are a couple of players here already messaging us, congratulating us, and ready to work for us. So that should be a fun thing. Here you see some of the scouting report that we've got started here already, and of course some players there that we're scouting out here, possibly maybe making trades or buying or selling, I should say, and we'll see how that goes. Some of these players, realistically, I know who they are. We're not going to be able to go after them, but it will be nice to kind of scout them out and see what they can do. I know Rashford is a player that I know we won't be able to go after, because I know Man U will not give him up. But there's some other players that I've noticed, been watching the Premier League now, like I said, for the last 2 years now. I think I probably have a good shot at possibly going after and getting. So and don't be surprised if we go after some players from the MLS. There's about 5 or 6 players I wouldn't mind bringing over to the Premier League, and I know it's going to take quite a bit of money to try to get those players, especially from the, a league like the MLS. We're going to have to give a lot of money to those teams, either out for loan or to buy, to bring them to the Premier League, because this is the league that everybody wants to go to. This is the league that the world sees, and we want, especially us, we want to be that team where we can win championships and defeat teams like Chelsea, like Man U, like Man City, and of course Liverpool, who had a great year last year. And of course, Man U are the defending champions. That's definitely going to be a team that we really are going to have to really go after here from day one. So take a look here. There's some of the objectives there that Luis is going to have to try to achieve. There you see the youth development, brand exposure, of course, continental success, domestic success, and of course, most importantly, financial. And we got quite a bit of money there, but like I said, we don't want to go splurging and buying players that we don't really necessarily need. I will have to go through the roster here, and that's what I've been kind of doing here lately. Is kind of going through the roster, seeing what we need to cut and seeing what we need to go after here. And not to mention, their formation is really a formation I don't know that well. I believe it's a 5-3-2. Let's see, you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it might be a 5-4-2 or something like that. I can't really remember, but I think I may change up the formation here to kind of help me out. But at the same time, I was kind of thinking, I was like, learning a new formation, that might be best for me. So, it might be a rough go here for the first couple episodes. Just simple fact, because I'm trying to learn the formation of the technique and stuff like that. They have to for that type of play, because I really want to keep what they have. But at the same time, I'm willing to change if it gets too difficult for us and we're not winning games, or we're coming up short. We have too many ties, stuff like that. Then we'll definitely start changing the formation, and of course changing the way how we're going to approach how we're going to build this team. So all that is possible here. Let's take a look at the schedule coming up here, and of course, a lot of these games won't be where they're at. They'll be changed as the course of the season. And of course, you got the Champions League there we have to worry about. I believe we're in that this year, and then of course some other tournaments there. So a lot of soccer being played here. I didn't realize how much soccer there was played in the Premier League, and of course they play in other leagues there, the European League and all that kind of stuff there. So it's gonna be a fun season here. I'm looking at possibly having somewhere around 3 to maybe no more than 4 games per episode. So that's how we're gonna do that. We will kind of have a spin-off show here, like we did with the Cauldron there with the Sporting Kansas City. I believe we're gonna call it the Wolves Den, where we'll break down, we'll look inside it, introduce you some of the players and what they can do, and what we are, of course, who we are going to go after, and the youth academy and other, of course, looking at around the league, other players and possibilities of bringing some of those players in for not just for this first transfer window, but also the transfer window in January, which is the second transfer window of the season. So we'll have I think I decided to call it the Wolves Den, but that could easily be changed here very soon. But that is it for me, you guys. I cannot wait to start this series. It's gonna be a fun one here. Be my second FIFA series here on the channel, my first ever Premier League series. So like I said, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Again, another learning series here as I learn how things are in the Premier League and all that kind of stuff. So it should be a fun one here. I cannot wait. We will be playing on professional, because that's where I'm currently at right now on supported with the Sporting Kansas City series that's been very successful, and I cannot wait to continue that series. That series will continue here on the channel. So we'll have 3 soccer series here, 2 franchises, and a player career here. I don't know what I got myself into, but nonetheless, here it's gonna be fun here. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna schedule these series that I have here on the channel. Some of them might be getting scaled back, but some of them, the other ones, will definitely get be up quite often. So and I will always let you guys know how that's going to be coming up here in future videos. So that is it for this episode, this introduction episode, or I should say this introduction of the Premier League of the Wolverhampton Wolves, or I should just call them the Wolves, and Luis Morales. That is it for this episode, you guys. Stay tuned for the very first episode, as we're going to be in that preseason tournament there. We'll see how well we do in that coming up here very soon on the channel. So that's it. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you guys can be notified of when this series or any other series here on the channel is uploaded to YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord for the latest news and events on what's going on here on the channel and what's going on in the world of sports gaming. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.